I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. Listen, let me say something to you. We're in the tribulation. There's a dilemma. Well, let me put it to you this way. Both of the political parties are calling each other extremist. And they're saying it from the very depths of their souls, if they've got one. It's not cankered with all kinds of other malfeasance. But both political parties are red hot now calling each other extremists, from fascists to dictators to leftists to whatever they can call each other. Let me share a couple of things with you historically, if you don't mind. Got a minute? Can I talk to you? I promise not to inflict myself on you much further after this. In 2007, Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama, announced he was running for president. Now, nobody ever heard of him before. I even said from the pulpit, I'd never heard of him until I saw his name on two great big old, women's breasts. That's absolute truth. Obama, whatever, Jesse Jackson, yeah. A whole lot of Kwasi and Fumi, where is he at? We don't hear anything about him today, these days. There'd been a lot of prominent, if you will, so-called black people. Obama? What? And where'd he get that name from? And he came from Hawaii on a surfboard. Obama don't know how to duck back in the alley. He ain't black. Even they say, how can you be black born in Hawaii? And that's what they said. He wasn't. Obviously, he was born in Kenya. On a surfboard? Gonna be running for president for black people? Black people ain't gonna receive that. Anyway, the powers that be lined up behind them, which is what they do. And they picked this man to be the nominee for the Democratic Party and for the black people. And I announced that God said he was not the president and would not be the president. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. When you look at the extremist, if you will, catcalling of each party right now, for instance, if you look at Donald John Trump, the things that he's doing, the man's is a psychopath, he's a liar, he's a convicted felon, and the people love him. The MAGA people love him. Now, I have a little bit more to say about that, probably at another venue, and then, of course, Obama, on the other hand, appointed two Supreme Court justices, Elena Kagan and Sonia Sotomayor, and was able to get the same-sex marriage bill passed where it became a national law, not left up to the states anymore, because Massachusetts had already gone down that road, that a man could marry a man and kiss him at the altar of the church, and the priest would bless him. Obama, they call it the Obergefell decision. Obama was critical. Without Obama's presidency, there'd be no same-sex marriages. Now, there'd be homosexuality, to be sure, but there'd be no same-sex marriages. So that's the power that the one power that he had, and the one reason, that was his only reason. The devil called him to combat ATLAH, but that was the one, if you will, reason that he was called to get same-sex marriages. And he appointed two Supreme Court justices. It was on the way to appointing three. However, and so when the leftist people, that the Democrats or the liberals, look over at what Donald Trump has done with appointing three Supreme Court justices, and then the Dobbs decision came down a year ago, that is to say that abortion became a national crime, that the Supreme Court ruled that Roe versus Wade was illegal in many responses, that it was not stare decisis, and that it was ruled that abortion would be a national outlawed event. And in so many different ways, even contraceptives and other things would be considered to be a crime. And so Trump was able, and Trump boasted about his ability to get that done. Obama boasted about it. So you should step back for just a second and take a neutral point of view. You can see both of them, through the use of the Supreme Court, have wreaked havoc on the American psyche. And not to say that abortion should be legal. That's not what I said. What I am saying is that each one of them can't see the amount of unnatural, inhumane evil that each one of those presidents have created. Now, both of them right now are out of office. So if you look further at where we are right now, Trump has the responsibility of coming back into power. Obama came back into power. He did not want Hillary Clinton. After he had his 8 years, Obama didn't want Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton would have been probably more of a black woman. Now, she's not black, but she would have been more of a black woman, more of a black politician than Coretta Scott King. No, she would have been, or Rosa Parks. Hillary Clinton, she just would have been, it was in her DNA, and it was in Bill Clinton's DNA. But what I'm trying to say to you is this, is that each one of these groups are looking at each other as extremists, as fascists, and a bunch of other, but they're both equally evil. Now, they can't see that about themselves. And then let me go you one further. I don't know if you'll walk down this road with me, but let me just try to see if I can get you to walk down this road. Here's what's happening. Almighty God, his name is Jesus, has blinded these men. It's in the Bible where God struck men with blindness and with hemorrhoids. Almighty God has blinded the politician and he has blinded America. Now, you may not want to go down this road, but I'll introduce it anyway. You see what Donald Trump has done? God has lifted honor. God has lifted integrity from the MAGA people, and they can't see. They see Trump as a saint. Now, you have to just pause for just a moment and think about the nature of that statement. Truly, God has lifted integrity. God has lifted honor from them. God has lifted ethics from them. And when they see Donald Trump, they see a man that's a saint. That's what they see. They cannot see that the emperor has no clothes. They can't see it. But the same thing is true about Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama. Now, he's hiding in the corner. He's in the closet right now. He's coming out again. He's coming out again. But God has lifted from the Democrats, the liberals, the leftists, honor and integrity, where they put a man in office who they knew was illegal, who they knew was ineligible, but they figured to get their ends meet, to keep black people happy with them, because black people don't like white folk. I mean, you see all these Van Jones and all these other Eddie Glaudes, you see all these Charles Coleman, you see Al Sharpton, and you see all these hanging around with white people. But black folk don't like white people. No, I've been black all my life. Trust me on this one. I know what I'm talking about. I don't care how much white people do for black people. Black people don't like white people. So if you notice now, a lot of black people are saying they're going to vote for Trump. Well, you're supposed to be a Democrat, man. Come on now. Lyndon Johnson, the Great Society, Adam Clayton Powell, Dr. Martin Luther King, Nobel Prize winner. Come on now. You're supposed to stay Democrat all your life. But listen, I'll tell you something about black folk. Black folk don't like nobody, tell you the truth. They don't like white folk. Black folks say, what's wrong? And the other thing, the reason why they don't like Biden, black folk don't believe black, especially young black men. They look at Biden and say, my God, from Zion, get rid of him. No, black folk, that's why it's so easy. You ever been listening to rappers? So we're looking at the extremists on each side, but let me finish that thought about the rapper. This is how easy it is for rappers to rap about what they're going to do to white folk, how they're going to do it, when they're going to do it. Like a black man, listen, I don't care if it's Eddie Glaude, I don't care if it's Van Jones, if it's what is Al Sharpton. They stand around the water cooler and they'll sit on the television panel, or they'll teach at Harvard and they'll be on the boards and the panel and the committee. But black folk don't like white folk. I'm trying to tell you I'll tell you that right now. And you can't wait till they have the family reunion and they get among themselves and start talking about it. So that's what's happening. So what's happening now? So they brought Obama, half black, half white. So they figured maybe they'll go for him. And they turned on Hillary Clinton. They turned on Hillary. Black folk turned on her. And Bill was what's her name? Said that Bill Clinton was the first black president. And then said was it Angela? What's that woman's name? Said there couldn't be a president, better black president than Bill Clinton. And they turned on the Clinton. Black folk will turn on white folk. And so now they're turning on Joe Biden, right? And they're turning to Trump. And a lot of people say they're turning to Trump because Trump's a criminal now, that he's one of the boys. But here's what I'm trying to say to you. I'm going to let y'all go, so I figure y'all got something else to do. I know I got something else to do. But listen, neither of them can see the extremity in each other. They're equally extreme. Both of their leaders are psychopaths. They're equally mad in their madness for what they support politically. But there's one caveat that I'd like to add to this, and I'll see how well you'll take this. You may not take this. But the preaching I did about Obama 17 years ago, 16 years ago, is now just beginning to take seed. Well, maybe I should say a couple of years ago, it really began to take hold. And people began to listen to the sermon that they rejected with all their heart and with all their strength when I preached about Obama. First of all, he wasn't black. Second, he wasn't the president. He was born in Kenya. Now they're believing it. And as quietly, well, as much as you may not want to receive this, but right now, I am the most influential person in politics on the planet right now. And I'll tell you why. Because black folk who hold the power to putting Joe Biden back into the presidency or putting Trump back into the presidency, black people hold that power the same way black people held the power to stop same-sex marriages and LGBTQ from being a public worship phenomenon. The black church said, we ain't going down that road. The black preacher said, you ain't bringing that mess in here. But Obama told the black preacher to let it fly, and now it's flying. But here, black people hold right now in this up-and-coming election, black people hold the power where the president, whoever becomes president in November will be because of what black people have or have not done. But here's the thing that probably you're not going to want to accept. That you'll probably accept. You may not have thought about it that way. The Democrats don't want you to think about it that way. Even the MAGA people don't want you to think about it that way, because the MAGA people don't want you to think that they're going to put Trump in office. It's not MAGA. Donald Trump does not have enough MAGA people to put him back in the presidency. He just doesn't. I mean, he got a lot of them. They're unethical, they're unhonorable, they're without, if you will, integrity, but that's not enough of them. You're going to need black people. You're going to need black people. You're going to need black people to put Trump, but you're also going to need, so black people now hold the key, the same way they held the key to homosexuality, whether it be a nationally recognized same-sex phenomenon. Black people, the black church held the key, and they threw up their skirt, they jacked up their skirt, pulled down their panties and said, well, let homosexual be a national, if you will, at the altar abomination phenomenon. But here's the thing, and I keep telling you, here's the thing. Black people have been listening to me. Remember, I endorsed Trump when no other black person would. Let's go back a few years, right? When every black person was mad enough with me to chew nails. That's what Pastor Stanley used to say that all the time when we talking about. I was the first black man to endorse Trump, a man of power, a man of significance, a man of Harlem, a man of New York. I endorsed him. And they wanted to kill me. But now they're listening to me. Now they are listening. But that's only half of it. The other thing is that black folk who hated me because I condemned Trump are also listening. I mean, Obama, I condemned Obama, are also now, after 16 years, are now listening that the Prophet Manning was right. 16 years ago, we hated him. We thought he was wrong. We thought he didn't like black people. But he told us the truth. Obama was a fraud from way back when, and now they see it, and now they know it. So my voice, the most quintessential and consequential voice in this up-and-coming election. That is correct. That is absolutely correct. Now, the very fact that a number of these black folk have contact, Pastor Benny, you had the vision and the will. Now, I would not, let me get, oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Let me get something straight. I would not endorse Trump now. If the angel Gabriel came and told me to do it, I wouldn't do it. I mean, well, I wouldn't reject Gabriel. But I wouldn't. I still wouldn't endorse Trump. I said, I got to go talk to God myself about this. Gabriel, your mouth ain't enough. I wouldn't endorse Trump now if Gabriel came and told me to do it. He's a psychopath. So what I was saying about my endorsing him then, and this was before all of his madness and before he came the servant of Satan. But now people are listening. They're pulling up my old tapes. I get requests all the time. Can you pull up these old tapes? We've been looking for them. They've been trying to dissect them. They want to hold them in their club meetings. They want to hold them at their church. All the teachings I did back on YouTube, by the way, that YouTube stole. The devil knew that my sermons would be cherished words, like an artist who paints great portraits, or poet or literature writer writes great stories, great events, and then dies, and his work does not become critical to humanity until long after he's dead. The work that I did in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, the work I did then is critical to American policy and global policy today. Now, you may not want to, Pastor Manny, you exalting yourself. You done got beside yourself, Pastor Manny, talking about your voice is the critical voice in this up-and-coming election. It is. However, let's be clear. I'm not endorsing either one of these persons. I think they all got to go jump in a tar pit. Both Biden and Trump ought to go jump in a tar pit. If they really want to restore something, they ought to go up there wherever Hillary Clinton lives, get her out of her rocking chair, and take Hillary down to the Oval Office and put her in the Oval Office. And I think that'll solve a lot of the world's problems if you would do that. But they're not going to do that. But anyway, I thought you'd be interested to hear that. They're both extremists. And right now, I'm the lone voice that has had the wisdom years ago to give the prophecy that is so accurate. Took a little time for everybody to see it. Took a little time. But now they see clearly and not through a glass darkly.